was pregnant. Hid. Not because I was embarrassed. I was growing a human inside of me.
And I was praying to God that I was pregnant when he got murdered.
Hold up. What if I told you that Charlie Kirk's final email, the very last message he ever sent, allegedly revealed he was preparing to end his marriage to Erika over explosive doubts about the paternity of their own children? Insiders who claim to have seen the leaked correspondence say the Turning Point founder was quietly gathering evidence, questioning everything from family photos to timelines that just don't add up. According to whispers circulating in conservative circles, that email wasn't just emotional. It was the breaking point after months of private suspicions. And once that alleged email hit the internet, the entire narrative around Charlie and Erika's picture-perfect marriage started crumbling overnight. Buckle up, because if these sources are right, this changes everything we thought we knew. Folks, buckle up because the internet is absolutely exploding right now with whispers that could completely rewrite everything we thought we knew about Charlie Kirk's final days and the marriage everyone once called conservative goals. Imagine this, the Turning Point USA founder, just hours before that tragic assassination in September, allegedly sitting down to write one last email, a message so heavy it reportedly spelled the end of his marriage to Erika over shocking doubts about the paternity of their own young children. According to sources close to conservative circles who are speaking on condition of anonymity, that alleged final email wasn't just emotional venting. It was Charlie quietly laying out questions that had been building for months, timelines that didn't line up, family photos that raised eyebrows, and patterns that made him wonder if the picture-perfect life on stage was hiding something much deeper. And once those whispers about the email started leaking online, the entire narrative around Charlie and Erika's relationship started unraveling faster than a bad plot twist in a political thriller. Think about it. Charlie Kirk built an empire on family values, faith, and fighting for the next generation. He and Erika were the couple everyone pointed to, young, driven, raising little ones while leading a massive movement. But now, insiders claim Charlie had reached a breaking point. People close to the situation are saying he had already started quietly removing Erika from certain personal documents and even discussed next steps with trusted advisors. Not accusations, just the kind of private steps that make you lean in and whisper, wait, what really happened behind closed doors? Now enter Erika Kirk. After the heartbreaking loss of Charlie, she stepped up in a huge way, taking the reins at Turning Point USA and staying constantly in the spotlight. Interviews, rallies, press tours. She hasn't slowed down. But it was her early return to the road, just weeks after the tragedy, that first got people talking. Clips of her smiling big, throwing merch into crowds, and saying things like, "I've never been this happy in my entire life," started circulating. Sarcastic commenters on X were already memeing it, grieving widow speedrun to CEO era, only in 2025. Harsh, sure. But that's how fast the internet turned sympathy into side-eye. And then the questions about the kids started piling up. Public photos of their two little ones, the 3- and 4-year-olds everyone saw in old posts, suddenly got zoomed in and compared side by side. Online sleuths pointed out that some images didn't quite match the ages Erika had shared in interviews. Blurry shots, covered faces, rare public appearances. One viral thread asked, "Where are the kids now that mom's always traveling?" Not mean-spirited, just the kind of curiosity that snowballs when answers feel scarce. Add in that ultrasound clip Erika once posted, the one meant to celebrate new life, and the internet's imagination went into overdrive. Sharp-eyed viewers noticed the name listed wasn't Erika Kirk, it was her maiden name from years earlier. Again, sources say this is just people connecting dots, not proof of anything. But when you layer it with the alleged final email and Charlie's reported last night behavior, sleeping in his daughter's room instead of the master bedroom, putting his ring back on the next morning like he was trying to hold it together, the rumors write themselves. Charlie's family has stayed mostly quiet, but whispers from those close to them suggest there was always a certain distance with Erika. His parents, his sister Mary, people say they never fully embraced the relationship the way outsiders assumed. And when Erika took full control of Turning Point after the tragedy, instead of family stepping in as some expected, the online crowd started asking even louder questions. Remember how Charlie used to talk about building a legacy for his kids? Fast forward, and now the internet is full of posts saying the marriage everyone envied might have been cracking long before that fateful day. One sarcastic X account summed it up perfectly. Charlie Kirk was out here fighting for America's future while allegedly fighting doubts at home. Plot twist nobody saw coming. Another user added fuel. If that final email is real, it explains why he looked so heavy in his last speeches. This isn't random tabloid noise, folks. This is the kind of story that mixes real clips, real public moments, and real questions that thousands are typing into Google right now. Charlie Kirk, the man who inspired millions. Erika Kirk, the widow who stepped into the spotlight almost immediately. Their beautiful children caught in the middle of whispers no parent wants to hear. When you put it all together, the alleged email becomes the spark that turned curiosity into a full-blown firestorm. Sources inside the movement are saying the Vancera conservative circles are watching this closely too, because anything that touches Charlie's legacy touches the future of Turning Point. Usher Vance herself reportedly paused when similar marriage rumors hit her own world. Now this? The timing feels almost too cinematic. The internet is already calling it the final email bombshell. And according to the people who claim to have seen pieces of it, Charlie wasn't just frustrated, he was preparing to make a permanent change. Whether any of this is real or just the wildest political fanfiction of the year, one thing is undeniable. This story has legs, and it's sprinting straight toward every comment section in America. And just like that, we're plunging headfirst into the rabbit hole that has the entire conservative internet dissecting every pixel, every clip, and every whispered detail. If Section 1 had you raising an eyebrow, Section 2 is where the alleged final email details start leaking out through back channels, the paternity questions turn nuclear on X, and the public reactions go from curious whispers to full-on meme warfare. According to multiple anonymous sources who claim to have seen fragments of that last email, or at least heard direct accounts from people who did, Charlie wasn't writing some casual vent. Insiders describe it as methodical, dates, observations, even references to specific family photos where the kid's features allegedly didn't line up with what he expected based on genetics and timelines. One supposed close contact put it like this off record: "It wasn't rage. It was disappointment mixed with resolve." He was listing things out like evidence, preparing to have the hard conversation. Again, these are unverified claims floating in private discords, encrypted chats, and conservative insider threads. No full email has ever been publicly released, no screenshots verified, but the rumor mill doesn't need hard proof when the story feels this explosive. The paternity angle exploded almost immediately once the email whispers hit. Online sleuths started pulling every public photo of the Kirk kids, the blurry Instagram stories from years ago, the rare event appearances, the old ultrasound post. Side-by-side comparisons flooded X. Look at the eye shape here versus Charlie's family line. This toddler photo from last year doesn't match the age Erika claimed in that interview. Sarcastic accounts turned it into dark humor gold. One viral meme showed a baby photo with text overlay when the plot twist is DNA addition. Another user quipped, "Charlie out here building empires while allegedly questioning if he's building someone else's family tree. Brutal." But the real firestarter was that ultrasound clip Erika shared back when she was announcing pregnancies. Sharp-eyed viewers zoomed in on the corner. The name read Erika France, her maiden name, not Kirk, even though they were married at the time. Sources say this detail alone sent people into theory spirals. Old medical records? Sure. Or something else entirely. One popular X thread laid it out step by step. Ultrasound under maiden name plus rare kid sightings plus Charlie's alleged last night bedroom switch equals questions nobody wants to ask out loud. The replies were chaos, some calling it overreach, others saying patterns don't lie. Public reactions on X are battlefield right now. Search #KirkPaternity, #FinalEmail, or #CharlieLegacy and you'll see thousands of posts daily. One influencer with a big following posted, "If Charlie really had doubts and documented them in that email, it explains why he looked so distant in his final speeches. Man was carrying weight." The quote retweets exploded, half defending Erika as a grieving widow being unfairly attacked, half fueling the fire with "Where are the kids now? Mom's always on tour, no family photos in months." Another sarcastic post went mega viral. Erika Kirk, CEO by day, single mom by, wait, where are they again? Asking for a friend, and Charlie's ghost. Then there's Erika's post-death behavior that keeps getting replayed. Clips from just 2 weeks after the assassination. Her on Zoom calls allegedly laughing, calling the memorial the event of the century, smiling wide while throwing merch at rallies. To supporters, it's strength and legacy building. To the rumor crowd, it's tone-deaf at best, suspicious at worst. One anonymous source supposedly close to Turning Point staff said, "Morale dipped hard when she took over. Some felt Charlie's family should have had input. Instead, spotlight stayed 100% on her." Whether true or gossip, the perception stuck. The Romania charity angle from years ago got dragged back in too. Erika started Everyday Heroes as a teen, went overseas to help orphans, and old rumors resurfaced about scandals in those programs, kids allegedly going missing from certain sites. No proven ties, no charges, but internet archivists love digging up decade-old forum posts. One user connected dots wildly. Romania questions plus ultrasound name weirdness plus Epstein adjacent real estate job at Corcoran Group equals too many coincidences. The Corcoran link? Erika worked there pre-Pusa full-time. The firm handled some high-profile sales, including Epstein Properties years earlier. No direct connection named her, but guilt by association posts went viral anyway. Charlie's family rift rumors added even more fuel. Sources claim his parents and sister Mary never fully warmed to Erika. Whispers say Mary wanted a bigger role in Pusa post-tragedy, but Erika locked it down. At the memorial, family reportedly didn't speak. Spotlight stayed on Erika. One dark meme read, "When the widow turns the funeral into her TED Talk." Sarcasm aside, it fed the narrative that something was broken long before September. And that last night? Insiders allege Charlie slept in his daughter's room, not the master bedroom, unusual for a stable marriage. Next morning, he put his ring back on before heading to the event. Commenters spun it. Final argument? Divorce talk? Or just a rough night? Combined with the alleged email, it paints a picture of a man quietly deciding to walk away. The broader conservative space is split. Some defend Erika fiercely. She's carrying Charlie's torch. Leave her alone. Others whisper the legacy feels tainted. One supposed donor told a podcast anonymously, "Questions about the kids hurt the brand. Family values movement can't have this hanging over it." No one's producing receipts, but the damage to perception is real. Trust erodes one viral clip at a time. Bottom line from the chatter, if that final email exists even in fragments, it reframes everything. A marriage that looked unbreakable on stage allegedly cracking under private doubts. Kids at the center of whispers no family deserves. Erika leading the charge while questions swirl. The internet has cast its vote. Messy, sarcastic, and relentless. And now we arrive at the part where the whispers turn into potential thunder, the fallout that could echo through Turning Point USA, the conservative youth movement, and even the broader mega ecosystem for years to come. If even a fraction of these swirling rumors about Charlie Kirk's alleged final email, the paternity doubts, and the cracks in that marriage hold any weight. And let's stress again, we're dealing with unverified leaks, anonymous accounts, and internet speculation that hasn't been confirmed by any mainstream source. The consequences could be seismic. First, the optics nightmare. Turning Point USA isn't just an organization. It's a brand built on family values, faith, and fighting for America's future. Charlie Kirk was the face, the young, married dad inspiring college kids to stand up. Now imagine that legacy shadowed by questions about whether the family at the center was real or complicated. Sources in conservative donor circles are already whispering that hesitation is creeping in. One supposed major contributor told a podcast off record, "People give to causes that feel authentic. When authenticity gets questioned, even unfairly, checks slow down." No mass exodus yet, but the fear is real. If the final email bombshell narrative sticks, it could dent fundraising at a time when Pusa needs momentum more than ever. Public backlash is already splitting the base in ugly ways. On one side, fierce defenders of Erika flood comments with "Leave the widow alone, she's carrying Charlie's torch." They call the paternity rumors cruel, misogynistic attacks on a grieving mom. On the flip, the rumor crowd grows louder. If Charlie had doubts and documented them, we deserve transparency for the kids' sake. X is a war zone. Hashtags like #JusticeForCharlie and #ErikaExposed trending in pockets, memes ranging from dark humor, when your legacy includes a DNA plot twist, to outright vicious speculation. One viral thread predicted, Pusa rebrand incoming, from family values to single mom boss era. Sarcasm aside, that kind of talk erodes trust fast. Erika's leadership is under the microscope too. She took the CEO role swiftly, locked in control, and kept the spotlight tight. Insiders claim some staff and early supporters expected Charlie's family, parents, sister Mary, to have more say. When that didn't happen, whispers turned to grumbles. Is this honoring Charlie or building her own empire? No public revolt, but morale dips get mentioned in anonymous forums. If donor confidence wavers or key voices start questioning quietly, it could force internal reviews or even board-level conversations nobody wants on record. Then there's the darkest speculation, the kind that should be called out as reckless. Posts floating mysterious illness predictions for anyone close to the story, or tying old Romania charity rumors to wilder conspiracies, Epstein files, Mossad whispers, Corcoran Group connections, are dangerous territory. No credible evidence supports any of it. No files name Erika. No charges from decades-old overseas work, no links to the assassination beyond fringe theories. But the fact those posts rack up like shows how fear and outrage spread. That kind of noise could trigger security concerns, legal warnings to platforms, or even push Erika, or family, to go public just to shut it down, which often backfires and fuels more speculation. Hypothetically, if fragments of that alleged email ever surface publicly, a screenshot, a verified leak, we could see real-world ripples. Not criminal investigations, nothing alleged rises to that level, but perhaps media deep dives from outlets like Axios or Politico, the Kirk legacy, questions lingering after tragedy. Fact-checkers would swarm, but once the narrative plants, walking it back is tough. Opposition researchers on the left would salivate, weaponizing it against TPUSA's influence in elections. Even within conservative spaces, some old guard types might distance themselves. We can't have this hanging over the brand.
Financial fallout is another ghost in the room.
Diffuser relies on big donors, campus events, merch, and youth energy. If perception shifts from inspiring family man's movement to complicated widow's empire with unanswered questions, sponsorships could dry up, events face boycotts from fringe groups, or key staff quietly exit. One anonymous source supposedly in the inner circle said, "The kid's angle hurts worst. Family values sell. Doubt sells doubt." Harsh, but in politics, perception is currency. Zoom out to 2028 and beyond. Charlie's assassination was already a scar on the movement. Layer on legacy questions, and it complicates everything, from youth outreach to alliances with figures like J.D. Vance, who's tied to diffuser circles. If Erika's leadership gets painted as self-serving instead of sacrificial, the organization could face a slow identity crisis. Resignations? Possible. Rebrands? Likely. Full collapse? Unlikely, but momentum loss is real. At the end of the day, this storm might blow over. Maybe the email never existed. Paternity whispers are baseless photo analysis gone wild, and Erika is simply a strong woman honoring her husband's mission. Maybe family stayed silent out of respect, not rift.
But the damage to perception?
It's already here.
Trust phrase one viral clip at a time.
And in a movement that prides itself on truth and family, any shadow, even manufactured, can cost more than money. So here's where we stand. The internet took one alleged final email, some public clips, and private doubts, then spun it into the scandal of the cycle. Whether baseless gossip or the tip of something deeper, one thing is crystal clear. This story isn't dying quietly. The question now isn't just what did Charlie really know? It's how long before someone, anyone, steps up with answers, receipts, or silence that speaks louder than words. And there you have it, folks, the raw, unfiltered deep dive into what the internet is dubbing the final email bombshell that's got Charlie Kirk's legacy hanging in the balance. We went from one alleged leaked message, some zoomed-in family photos, and a handful of public clips, to a full-blown narrative storm that's splitting comment sections, donor chats, and conservative circles right down the middle. Whether it's pure smoke from overzealous online detectives, cruel speculation aimed at a grieving widow, or something that actually deserves a closer look, one thing is crystal clear. This story isn't fading anytime soon.
Now I'm handing the MIC to you.
Hit the comments and drop your realist take. No holding back. Do you think this is all baseless internet drama designed to tear down a powerful woman carrying a massive torch? Or do the alleged patterns, the timing, the whispers from insiders add up to questions that need real answers? If you were in Erika's shoes, how would you handle the noise? If you're on Team Legacy, is this hurting Charlie's mission more than helping it? Be savage, be sarcastic, be thoughtful. I'm reading every single one, promise. If this breakdown hit you, if it made you pause, smirk darkly, rage refresh X, or just go wait a minute, smash that like button right now. It tells the algorithm we need more of this raw, no-filter energy. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you catch the next update the second it drops, because if receipts ever surface, or someone finally speaks out, we'll be right here breaking it first. Share this with your group chat crew who lives for political tea. They're gonna lose it. Until the next wave crashes, and trust me, it always does, stay sharp, question everything, and keep those comments coming.
You guys are the reason this channel keeps digging. Peace out. See you in the comments.
Let's go.